There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. Damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. We are here to do the Premier League preview show, week 1, and we've got the wonderful Colm joining me. How are we, Colm?
I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm happy that it's football season again, and my £1 accumulators that I put on 25 teams to win are never going to come in. It's time for that season again.
Yeah, exactly. I do that as well, but I do, what is it, 5p? I do 5p because I can do multiples then. I can do multiple of them. Sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. Most likely they don't, to be fair, because there's always that one result. And it's normally the most guaranteed result that never comes in. And I go, come on, I got all the other ones right, and that's that one result. And it's normally something to do with me, like a Colchester or Wolves or an Arsenal. Arsenal have messed me up so many times, it's ridiculous. And I think I've put on Donny before, and I'm pretty sure Donny have messed me up a few times as well. But it's just, yeah.
It's never bet on Donny.
I'll just put on money on Donny to lose, shall I? Is that the best option?
It's probably a safer bet.
Yeah. But anyway, we are here to talk
It isn't my standing, yeah. That's when I tend to win money off of Donny.
Look, we're here to talk about the fixtures. Obviously, it kicks off in, I'm trying to think what day we're on now, Wednesday, 2 days' time. Burnley versus Manchester City. Now, this is probably the best way to open the season, in my opinion. Vincent Kompany with his new Burnley up against his old club, Man City. Sometimes you just think, sometimes it's just fixed a little bit, don't you, the fixtures? You just think that smells like a little bit dodgy. But no, it's not. But it's just a beautiful way to raise the curtain, isn't it? Are you looking forward to that game? Because I am, apart from I can't stand City.
Well, it's a game I'm gonna watch myself. I mean, I'm interested to see how Burnley are going to set up. You know, I mean, the Championship's a very hard league to get out of. Kompany's proven very, very, very well that he's capable of doing his job. It'll be interesting to see how City set up against this Burnley team as well, because Burnley won't sit back. I don't think Burnley will be. Kompany won't let Burnley be scared of City. So it's going to be an interesting watch, 100%. And obviously we did the preview the watch long, last week, didn't we, of the Arsenal City game? And City look a little bit shaky; they're not up to full strength yet. So it'll be an interesting game.
It will be. I'm looking forward to it because they've just made a new signing today, Burnley. It's not official, but it should be registered in time by midday tomorrow, which is when all the transfers have to be officially done. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. What are you expecting out of Burnley this season? I know you've done your predictor, and it's not been a pretty sight for Burnley. But what are you expecting for Burnley, honestly?
Honestly, I expect Burnley to do well against the teams that are in and around them. You know, I think when they play teams like the Lutons and the West Hams, people like that, I think they'll do fine. I think they're going to struggle when they come up against the bigger boys. You know, the Arsenals, the Cities, the Uniteds, those kind of teams.
Yeah. I've got a question because I don't know if you can see anyone in the comments, but there are comments, and for some reason they're not coming up. Are they coming up on your StreamYard?
No.
Okay, because I obviously I on YouTube one as well, just because I make sure that everything is running smoothly. Big up to Chris, big up to Matthew, big up to Munzi, because you're all in there. However, and Colm can verify this, your comments aren't coming up in the chat. I do apologize. I don't know what's happening here. Chris is saying up the Yankee Carlisle. Yes, there's an American interested in buying Carlisle at the moment. Matthew Bassett, big up to you. Big up everyone on the show. And then the chat says, Matthew, thank you very much. Munzi saying, big up lads, Munzi in the house. There's the Rashford hater, Colm. From Munzi. It is the best time to play City, in my opinion, at the start of the season. 100% it is for me. Burnley 0, Manchester City 3 is Chris Welch's prediction. And yeah, shut up, Bazza. Honestly, and Colm can verify this, nothing's coming up, is it? Nothing is coming
No, there's nothing at all. I'm pressing on. There's nothing.
Yeah, because currently, according to this, no one's watching either. But I know that someone's there.
Not quite sure what's going on with that.
No, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on the comments as well. That's happening live. It's a bit weird, if I'm honest, because I've got nothing to say on it today. So yeah, Colm, is it possible that you could go into the YouTube as well and keep an eye on the comments, because I feel bad because nothing's coming up. Because I don't know what's going on. It's weird. But anyway, Burnley, Man City. Played 20 times. Total wins for Burnley is 1. Total wins for Man City is 16 and 3 draws. So it's kind of heading towards Man City's direction in terms of head-to-heads. But this is the Premier League. It means nothing. So, yeah. What are you expecting? Because obviously Chris is going for a 3-0. Are you kind of expecting something similar to that? Colm's gone.
No, I'm still here. Sorry, I'm trying to sort out.
Mental, so I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I'm trying to sort out the comments in the background at the same time. I don't really know. I don't know what to expect. I think City will win it.
Yeah.
I think they will, but I don't think it's going to be a romp. I don't think they're going to win 3 or 4. I think it'll be... I'll go 2-1 City. I think that's what it'll be. Yeah.
We're going to. Well, I'm not going to write any of these down. This is not what they're. We're just here to talk about the fixtures and see what happens. Obviously, Gvardiol has signed for City. Do you expect him to jump straight into that first team, or do you think he might have to bed in a little bit?
No, I think he has to. I think he has to hit the ground running. So I think he'll start, but I don't think he'll get a full 90.
Okay, fair enough. Obviously, Kovacic played against Arsenal. To be fair, he looked fairly decent. Wouldn't say he was like Gundogan, but kind of did that similar role, like pushed the ball forward, just took the ball and went, you know what, I'll just do it myself, which I kind of like. And who else they haven't signed anyone else yet, have they? They're trying to sign Paqueta. That's where I got confused there.
No.
Burnley-wise, now I have got their list here. It is quite a list. Now, James Trafford. Now, you know the guy, under 21 England. Do you expect him to literally be the number one, or do you expect him to have to fight for it?
No. As good as he is, I think he's going to have to fight for it. This is a completely different kind of ball game. You know, and putting that much pressure on somebody such as James Trafford, I think, is catastrophic for the whole team. Who knows? He might prove us wrong. He might be one of the best in Burnley's squad, and nobody can touch him. But I think we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think the same as well. But the style of play, obviously, from Company is very different to how it was under Sean Dyche, which I'm not having a go at Sean Dyche before anyone says I am. But it's very attractive football at Burnley. It's very fast paced, very City like as well. They do the press as well. What have you thought of their football?
I think Company's fantastic. The things that he's done there, we got used to the very old, boring, slow, lump it high and long from Burnley, and to see them play this different way, and don't get me wrong, they're amazing at doing it as well. I mean, they look like they've been doing it for years and years and years. So I really like the fact that he's changed this philosophy at Burnley, and it's not the same as what it was under Dyche. I think that will help him a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. Just to compare their pre-seasons, obviously Burnley are going to play slightly different opposition to Man City. So Man City have faced Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter, Man U. They've won 3, lost 1, drawn 1. Burnley, no offence, they've played Cardiff, Bristol City, Blackburn, QPR and Rotherham. And they've also won 3, lost 1 and drew 1. My concern now is who they lost to, and at home as well. It was QPR, and QPR are in a mess, like the worst I've seen them in years. They got absolutely ripped apart by Watford, and I expect them to lose quite a few until they get it sorted, if they get it sorted. But does pre-season really mean much to you, or is it more about match fitness?
No, it's pre-season to me. Oh, am I working?
Yeah, you're
hello.
Working, yeah,
it's not coming up on my side. StreamYard's having a moment. Now, pre-season's all about fitness in my eyes. I don't really care about the results. Yeah. The only one that I'm happy about is the fact that they beat Rotherham. So,
yeah, as you can tell, Colby's proper Yorkshire. Anyone other than Doncaster Rovers, everyone is scum in Yorkshire. Talking about Sheffield Wednesday, trust me, it's a nightmare.
Don't even think about it.
You know what? We are going to have to talk about another Yorkshire club on this stream today. So it's going to be fun when we get onto them. Right, let's move on to Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. There will be a live watch along this Saturday on the Armory and on here. Guess who's doing it? What? At 12:30. And why am I dreading it? I don't know, but I just got this horrible feeling. Right, so head-to-head between Arsenal and Forest. It is 16 played, 9 wins for the Arsenal, 4 for the Forest, and 3 draws. Their pre-season, to be fair, it's a mixed bag again, weirdly. Actually, it's exactly the same as what City and Burnley were. Played 5, won 2, drawn 2, lost 1. They lost their game to PSV. We lost our game to you guys. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. But Forest, they have obviously just signed Matt Turner, and I know a lot of Arsenal fans were like, "Oh, hold off until Friday and sell him then, because obviously he won't be applicable to play against us." But to be fair, they need a goalkeeper, and we're getting Raya, so it's not a big issue. And they've got Elanga, which was quite an interesting signing, if I'm honest. And Chris Wood has made it permanent move there, and they've signed Aina, however you say his name. They haven't done much, if I'm honest, but then they did buy 2 new clubs last summer. So I suppose they didn't really have to do much. But what are you expecting from Forest this season?
I expect him to be exactly like the way last season, if I'm going to be honest. Not a lot has changed. Yes, they've brought in a couple of players. Yeah. I think Turner's a very, very good player. I like Turner. Yeah. Obviously, I know looking at it from goalkeeping aspect of things, that's what I do anyway. I think he has got a lot of potential and talent. But I don't think they've strengthened enough. You know, I think there's still little areas where they could have done with boosting a little bit.
Yeah. I'm just going to get into the comments because Chris is saying 6 people are watching. We've got not that number. I guarantee you that.
We've got one.
We got one. BX Gunner. I'm just going to explain to you. Thank you for joining us. But also, we can't see any comments in StreamYard, so we're having to watch them on YouTube, and YouTube is normally behind the comments. So we're going to try our best. But don't think we're being rude, because we're not. Nothing's coming up in our studio, so we can't go through any of them.
Let me quickly back out and come back and see if that fixes it.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, so Cole's just going to hop out and hop back in. Hopefully, that might fix it. It might have to be me, to be fair. That might have to jump out as well. But as we're saying, with Arsenal, Forest, Arsenal have obviously made big changes. We've signed Declan Rice, we've signed Timber, who for me has been the best signing so far from what we've seen in his performances. And then Havertz, which I guarantee you the fan base are having meltdowns either way, because it is just mental what they're doing. Right, Colm, now you're back in. I might do the same. I might drop out quickly as well, to see if it's me. Is it working for you?
Yeah, I've got all the comments now.
All right, well, I'm going to drop out then as well then.
Yeah, no worries. I have no idea where he got up to. So I'll go from here. We'll give Turner a rude awakening. I think Turner will do quite well. Personally, I think he'll do quite well at the weekend.
It's working. It's working. Yes, excellent stuff. Big up.
We still only got one person watching apparently, but yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Look, the main thing is I wanted the comments because I felt so rude not putting everyone that's seen my streams. I always make sure I go for every single comment, unless it's Moss regarding baseball. Then they're banned. Simple as that. I don't do baseball. But big up to everyone. Sorry we couldn't share everyone's comments. We can now, so I'm going to go through every single one because that's the type of person I am. Big up to Matthew. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, that's an interesting. I think I said to Colm a couple of weeks ago that the amount of Americans that want to invest in our pyramid system is crazy now. Because it's so lucrative, and they're in League One. And as I said to Colm, you get your team into League One, more people are interested because that is one step away from the Championship. So much more money in the Championship now than they used to be. So it's all lucrative now. So yeah, I expect more to happen over the years as well. Right, so let's get back onto the Arsenal Forest. I don't know what you were saying when I left, mate. So what were you saying?
No, I was just replying to a comment. I think it was Gunnar81 was saying he's going to give Turner a rude awakening. I was just saying I expect him to probably have the game of his life.
Yes.
I think he's very underrated.
Yes. I've always said I think he's a very good goalkeeper. He just doesn't suit the style of the football that we play, which is from the back. He's not very comfortable with his feet. That's my only issue with him. Shot stopping, he's absolutely outstanding. His decision making is pretty good as well, to be fair. I think that possibly could be better than Ramsdale's. But what we do have at Arsenal, when we sell a goalkeeper, when they play us for the first time, they have the game of their lives. Normally a clean sheet. It's just one of those nightmare games. So I do get where BX is coming from. And there's a lot of people saying, like Moss was saying, oh, keep him until Friday. Look, the transfer window isn't like that, unfortunately. You can't just go, you know what, we're not going to sell you until this day. Because the club would move on. The club would move on to someone else. They'll be like, sod you then. We'll go and buy Henderson. Or I think they were trying to get Schmeichel as well, aren't they, Forest? They're trying to get 2 goalkeepers, not just the one.
Yeah, they're trying to get 2. But thank you for that bit of knowledge. That's not in Forest going on my ACCA this weekend.
Yeah, it can happen. It doesn't always happen, but Leno did it against us. Who else has done it? Fabianski has. Szczesny has. Martinez has. Trying to think who else has left. Yeah, it's been, honestly, it's pretty much every goalkeeper that's left us has just had an absolute worldy game. But it is what it is. I expect Arsenal to win, though. I'll be annoyed, to say the least, if we don't. But what are you predicting for the Arsenal Forest game?
I expect Arsenal to win, to be honest with you. Coming off the confidence of beating City as well, your first bit of silverware this season, I fully expect Arsenal to win. I don't know what score it's going to be. It could be a close one, or Arsenal could absolutely rip them apart. I just don't know. It all depends on what team Arsenal, what version of Arsenal turn up, I suppose.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to Bournemouth and the people that say they've got no money, but all of a sudden they've got loads of money. West Ham. Right, their head-to-head is play 12. Bournemouth 4 wins. West Ham 5 wins, 3 draws. I want to talk too positive about West Ham because they have annoyed me in the past few months for obvious reasons. Bournemouth, interesting team at the moment. They obviously brought in what's his name, the Spanish dude, Iraola. Is that how you say his name?
Iraola.
Yeah. Interesting appointment. I was a bit shocked that O'Neill got the sack, if I'm honest. But it is what it is. That's football management. But what are you expecting from Bournemouth this season? I can't remember where you put them in your predictions.
I can't remember where I put them either. I have got it saved here somewhere. I can put it up there. Wait a minute.
13th.
13th.
Well, that's not bad, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got them 13th. See, Bournemouth, one of these weird teams that I don't know what to expect from them all the time, because one minute they're walking through teams like Manchester United and doing it for fun, and the next minute they're getting absolutely romped by Leeds United and stuff like that. No hate on Leeds United whatsoever from me there, honestly. So it's a bit of a tough one. I know I've got them 13th in that my prediction, but I think I was a bit generous there. I think they'll struggle this season.
Okay. Well, they have only just brought the 3 players in. Traore has now been a permanent signing, who was on loan last season. Favor, which I still don't understand. They brought him from Lyon. He's 25. This is why I don't understand it. He's 25. And then was loaned back out to Lorient. Now, I get this from 19-year-olds. I do. I get it with 19-year-olds, that you buy them and then they loan them out. But he's 25. Like, that's the best time to have him at your club.
Yeah, that's his prime.
Yeah, I don't understand that signing at all. They've spent 12.9 million on him, and then they've loaned him back out. They bought him from Lyon, which is a very good club, and they loaned him out to Lorient, which is not a big club.
Is he French?
Yeah, he's French.
Oh, I'm going to say, because maybe it's a work permit issue, but it won't be if it's French.
No, I don't get it. But the other players they've signed is Radu on loan from Inter, who's a goalkeeper, and Kirkez, who's a 19-year-old left back. They spent 15.5 million on him. They've obviously lost Jefferson Lerma, which I think is a huge loss, if I'm honest, because I thought he was very good for Bournemouth. So they haven't really improved in my eyes, just looking at that. They've weakened quite a lot, in my opinion, which does make me worry. But like I said, there's still 4 weeks left, so a lot can happen. And as for West Ham, let's not go into the rumours who could be coming in.
Oh, I'm going into the rumours.
The certain signing, everyone's going, oh, there's a certain bloke that is quite a big YouTuber, and he's done a tweet, and I'm like, he said, bookmark this, that this person is going to smash it at West Ham. And I'm like, I wonder what kind of drugs you've taken today. Because honestly, I can't, right, don't get me wrong. He's not a bad defender, but he's not, you know who I'm on about, don't you?
Of course I do.
I just couldn't believe I saw that. And I was like, seriously, what are you on? Because that's mental, like absolutely mental. And what I will say again, and I do apologise, Chris, and I apologise to BX, our comments are not resetting. they're exactly the same. This is our last comment that's come up in StreamYard. So StreamYard is having a nightmare, quite clearly, because I've just noticed there's new comments and they're not coming up. So Chris, Arsenal 4, Nottingham Forest nil. BX is saying Bournemouth, Luton, Sheffield United, you go down. That's what BX is saying. Bournemouth nil, West Ham 1. Thoughts on Paqueta situation? If I'm West Ham, I'm snapping City hand off for that. I don't think he's that good, to be honest, in first season. Obviously, be a world bearer for City. Maguire is West Ham level, so he's good signing for them, but great for Man United to get rid of him. Yeah, that's my theory. I think getting 30 million quid for Maguire is a touch of genius, if I'm honest. No, but right. This is my issue, and I know this is meant to be quite a short show, and I don't think it's going to be because I'm going to have a rant now. But Austin Trusty, brilliant season at Championship level last season for Birmingham, who were very, very poor. So that showed exactly how good of a defender he was. I think he was in the team of the season as well at the Championship, which is unheard of for someone that finished so low. 5 million quid we got for Austin Trusty. He's 25. He's gone to Sheffield United. United, 30 million quid for a fridge with no wheels. A fridge with no wheels. Now, even I've got a fridge with wheels. Mine's a fridge freezer. It's one of those American ones with the water dispenser and all that stuff. Mine's got wheels. My fridge freezers, and mine's American, and I can twist it around and do dancing with it. Maguire, oh my god, it's like a Smeg. It's like a Smeg fridge, if you know what I mean. The Smeg one's that one of those big old bulky things that you just cannot move. 30 million quid. His market value is 18.5 million quid. You're getting an extra 10 million pounds on top of his market value. What the heck have you done? How have you got that?
Well, see, that's an easy question. It's because I'm going to try and say this with a straight face. Harry Maguire is a very, very good, competent defender. I actually said that without bursting into laughter.
The thing, Tom, I could hear it in the way you said it. So, look, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Look, he's not awful, but he's not 30 million pounds worth. Honestly,
Bobby, right? I've been in quite a few chats in different channels trying to sell Maguire. Obviously, no one's going to buy because it's all fan channels. But trying to sell Maguire, and my bids have been: I will take £2.50 and a Twix.
All right, I'll put it into real terms. Right, Connor Cody sold by Wolves for £7.5 million. Right. So is Connor Cody just a quarter of the player Harry Maguire is?
No, Connor Cody's just a poor man's Harry Maguire, isn't he?
I'm trying to compare it with another centre-back that's been signed. Tottenham have just signed Van der Ven for 34.5 million. And I'm trying to find other centre-backs here. I can't find any.
See, I was gonna say something about the Van der Ven thing, but judging by little bits of research I've done, neither one of them can actually defend properly. So they're about the right same price. So I've seen Van der Ven try to defend a couple of times. He's amazing at bringing the ball out of his back line and going forward. But a lot of Spurs fans are worried about the other end of it, him actually defending.
Yeah, it's because United and Chelsea know how to sell. 100% BX.
That is not true. That is not true. There's been a sale of Manchester United going on for nearly a year now.
That's a different department, mate. That's a different department.
He's just said United know how to sell. Clearly not.
BX saying we severely undersold. Talking about Trusty, because I know BX is an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I agree. I think 5 million for Trusty is ridiculous. I wanted at least 15. I wasn't expecting loads, but I was expecting more than 5. 5 is nothing. I got a scenario and prediction on Man United sell Maguire, Fred, McTominay. They will sign Harry Kane before the window shuts, says Chris. I have seen, yeah, because I've seen you put it on Instagram. I think you said that on Instagram. What do you think of that? For what Chris is saying, so I'm having to go back into the YouTube one to find it.
It's all right. Well, I think everybody knows. I'm not Harry Kane's biggest fan in the world, but looking at the options that are out there, I think he's probably the best option that United have, because obviously I know United need another striker. Rasmus Højlund has come in. He's injured. Bloody-tastic. We always seem to cite injury-prone players for some reason. Martial's just not good enough anymore. You know, he's made out of glass, that kid. Yeah. So we do need to bring another striker in. So if he comes to United, I'll back him. But you know, if he doesn't, I won't lose sleep over it either.
Yeah. Right. Let's get back onto the Bournemouth West Ham fiasco. What are we predicting for Bournemouth West Ham? Because obviously West Ham have lost Declan. I think majority of their signings won't be able to play until the following game. So, as it stands right now, what are you predicting?
I still think West Ham will do it. Okay. I think they've still got more quality than what Bournemouth do in the whole squad. Yeah. Obviously, like, you know, if Lucas Paqueta is still at West Ham, you know, he's a game changer. Yeah. Bournemouth don't have anybody like that in their squad, so I'll still go with a West Ham win.
Fair enough. We'll go on to Brighton versus Luton. Obviously, there's no head-to-heads because Luton is their first time in the Premier League because they got relegated the season just before the Premier League started. So they haven't actually appeared in the Premier League as of yet. Right. Brighton. Obviously, there's going to be no Caicedo because we all know that there's a transfer coming close for Caicedo. Not saying it's specifically to Chelsea, but obviously Caicedo will be leaving to someone. Regarding who they've brought in, which I'm trying to find their team now, they've brought in Dahoud, which I think is an amazing signing. James Milner, Verbruggen, Igor Julio, there's João Pedro as well. They haven't really let many go, apart from obviously McAllister is the big one. But other than that, and Sanchez, I suppose, but it was their goalkeeper that came in. Who was playing for him last season in goal? It wasn't Sanchez, was it?
No, it wasn't.
What's that dude's name? I can't remember who took his place now.
No, I can't remember off the top of my head.
But anyway, Sanchez wasn't playing, so that's not really a loss to him because he wasn't their number one choice last season. But not a bad window. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's not bad. I think you rated it, was it a 7 the other day on the Monday show? 7 or an 8?
Steele. Jason Steele.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, was it Luke Steele?
No, Jason Steele.
Is it Jason Steele? Who's
yeah,
Luke Steele?
I just Googled it.
Oh, thank you, mate. So what are you expecting from Brighton?
Well, I mean, I think Brighton will do well again. I don't think they'll have as good as a season as what they did last year, because obviously they are going to lose some key players. Well, they've lost one. It looks like another one's going to go. But the thing with Brighton is that always impresses me is it doesn't matter because they've always got somebody else ready and waiting. Yeah. That's the thing that I like about Brighton so much. I know I tipped them last year for the outside chance of top 4. Didn't quite work out. But I think they'll finish top half at table. Probably. I think they'll finish just outside at European spots.
Okay. Right. I'm going to get into the comments before we talk about Luton because, again, they're coming through and I don't know what's going on here. Kane to United or Chelsea is the most logical, says BX. Iralolo, or however you say his name, appointment at Bournemouth is one of them, a wait and see. But I got Bournemouth to bottom, to be honest. It's what Chris has done. BX Gone is saying Bowen. Chris Welch saying Brighton 1, Luton 1. BX saying Brighton 3-0. Welbeck and Matoma to bang in some goals, says BX. And Chris is saying 9th for Brighton and 12th for Luton. Right. What about Luton for you?
Well, we know that they're... I know you say it's not done, but it looks like it's good. I know it has been done. I think Ross Barkley.
Yeah,
he's signed for.
Officially done.
Yeah, he's signed for Luton now, hasn't he? Confusing one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a bit.
I'm not quite sure why they've signed Ross Barkley. But best of luck to him. I think Luton are going to be one of the teams that's going to go down. If you remember, I don't wish it upon them. I really don't.
Yeah.
But if you remember, quite a few seasons ago when Reading came into the Premier League, and they ended up with, what were it, 6 points, 7 points or something like that?
You think it's one of those?
I think it's one of those.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from as well. But I think Kenilworth, once they're allowed to play there, will be their fortress. I think they've done some sensible signings as well. They brought a new left wing back, Ryan Giles, who are underrated, in my opinion. Issa Kabore has signed on loan from Man City. That kid is someone to watch out for. He's very good. Chong, who's ex-United, he's been signed from Birmingham. Mads Anson, very good centre-back. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure Colm will talk highly of him because of who he played for before. However, he is a very good centre-back. Used to play for Barnsley. Ross Barkley is a weird one. Kaminsky, new goalkeeper from Blackburn. He's all right. Obviously, Marvellous Nakamba, and that is his first name. I'm just not making that up. Signed undisclosed, obviously, was on loan last season at Luton as well. I think they've done sensible signings. They haven't spent a lot. They spent 11.3 million quid, which is nothing.
Yeah,
really.
But see, the issue I've got with this is obviously he's gone through some of the signings there. The issue I have is exactly what Reading did. A lot of the players that are in that team are Championship players, not Premiership players. And the jump from Championship to Premiership is massive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is big. But the quality in the Championship is still very good now. But the Premier League just has. What's happened is the Championship was getting better, but so was the Premier League. So the gap is still the same, but both the qualities have just. The gap between Championship and League One, I think, has extended a little bit. I think that's what's happened.
It has. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you got to think as well. A lot of these players, I think there's probably one or two in Luton's side, but a lot of these players have never played in the Premier League. They don't know what it's like to play week in, week out in the Premier League. Yes, the Championship is a very, very hard, tough league. I know. I've seen Doncaster Rovers play in that league. I've experienced it firsthand. But I just think they're just going to get overwhelmed because the quality in players, like when you look at teams, for instance, I could take West Ham as a team. They've got a lot better players than what Luton currently have. And Everton, on paper, have a lot better players than what Luton does.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the telling thing. I think Luton's needs I think Luton, even if they're slightly older players, they're like an Ashley Young or somebody like that have got experience. They need to bring some of those players in just to help them climatize.
Yeah, 100%. I've just put a comment in there saying sorry for the technical issues. We can't see any of your comments in stream mode. Thank you to all of you for still being involved though, because I feel really bad because I'm having to stay in YouTube just to see your comments, and you're putting some bangers in there. To be fair, Barkley, most random signing for me. Need to see how it works from now till end of the season. I wouldn't say it's good or bad. He's moved clubs every season since leaving Everton. It's a wait and see. You don't want to be bouncing on bouncy castle saying it's unbelievable signing when you can't say that 10 years ago. Obviously, it will be booked, but now everyone's saying he's finished apart from Luton fans. Chris saying worse teams than Luton for him. Got Burnley 11th and City are the champions. Got Arsenal 4th at the moment. Sorry, Bobby. Don't need to say sorry to me, mate. I'm probably the least a positive Arsenal fan you'll meet that doesn't go crazy about it. I'm just quite chilled about it, if I'm honest. Unless they sign a goal scoring striker, then that changes drastically. And I got Forest 18th and relegated. Don't rate their squad. I kind of get it. And I get it, the Arsenal thing as well. I think we'll get into that at the end. But yeah, I kind of with you on that, Chris, to be honest, about Arsenal. I don't think we're going to do as well as we expect us to. Right, what's the next game? I can't even think of it now.
The next game is Everton
Oh, crikey. Literally, the clubs have done nothing in the window. Everton have signed 2 players, spent nothing, Danjuma and Ashley Young. And Fulham, literally, bought 2 signings, Jimenez and Bassi. Done nothing. Fulham have released 4 players. Everton have sold some players, mainly youngsters, if I'm honest. This game doesn't excite me at all, if I'm honest. It doesn't. They played 34 times, 19 wins for Everton, 12 wins for Fulham, 3 draws. I think that draw might go up to 4, if I'm honest, after this weekend. Look, I don't get Everton. I don't understand them. Look, I know they've got issues off the field, and I know they're close to sorting that out. But what a joke of a club! They've got this new stadium they're waiting to go into, but they've spent nothing at all. Now every club gets money, prize money at the end of every season. You know, no matter where you finish, you get prize money. They've done nothing. And I'll tell you who they've got rid of, which is a big concern for me, is Yerry Mina. You know, and only to Connor Cody has obviously gone back to Wolves and since been sold. That's 2 centre backs. And they haven't bought a centre back. So that got Tarkowski, and is Godfrey even back from injury from his last one?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
You know, it just that could be. Yeah, to be honest, I've seen Everton for some people like relegated. I can see that happening. Can you, for Everton?
Yeah, I can see it happening. They're one of those teams, aren't they, that are always flirting with relegation when you look at them. But
Yeah.
I don't think Sean Dyche will be bothered, you know, because Sean Dyche has got Tarkowski. We got Tarkowski. So
Yeah.
that's a really bad Sean Dyche impression. Please don't come and beat me up. But Everton, it's a weird one, Everton. It really is a weird one. Because, I mean, even their talisman, I mean, they haven't got Thingy anymore, have they, either? Or is he still there?
Who's that?
No, he went to Newcastle last season. And obviously, they've got Calvert-Lewin, who's never fit.
No, he's more interested in the catwalk.
Is it Godfrey?
Yeah, he's
Godfrey.
The guy that keeps getting injured, really bad injuries, unfortunately for him as well. Yeah, but it's just honestly, I don't get it, Everton, because they've just all they've done is weaken their team and brought Ashley Young, who's like 60, and Danjuma, who was meant to join them but went to Tottenham and has now decided to join Everton again this time, which was mad. But that's nothing. That doesn't excite me. You know, I think isn't Damari Gray meant to leave at some point as well? Because I have heard about Damari Gray being linked to leaving. So yeah, I don't know what's just happened next. I just heard Colm's back. Yeah, I to be honest, I'm going to go with 0-0 because I think this game's going to suck. What about you?
Yeah, no, I'm going for a goalless draw.
Yeah. Chris has also said Calvert-Lewin more bothered about the catwalking joke of a one. Yes, exactly. That's all he's bothered. Only Dyche is keeping Everton up for me. He's gone for 16th for Everton and 14th for Fulham. Yeah, I can't. To be honest, Fulham haven't done enough. Like Jimenez, yeah, all right. But what has he done for the past 2 years? Pretty much nothing. Calvin Bassey is a good signing. But that's it. You have to do a bit more than this unless you're a City.
Yeah.
You have to do more.
You do. I mean, I kind of feel bad for Fulham in a way because obviously they've been up and down, up and down, up and down. Mitrovic has never really done anything for him, and then like he's found his goal-scoring feat in the Premier League. You know, he's a little bit more prolific now, and they're losing him.
Yeah, supposedly. There's still a lot of transfers still to happen, and I'm one of these where you either should just end the window before the season starts, or just have what we used to have in the good old days of not having a window at all. Players go and leave whenever. I don't know if Con, were you old enough for that time?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. There was good old days where literally you could sign anyone whenever you wanted. There was no restrictions. It's got to change one way or the other, because I don't like this where you're going to start with a team. Because to be fair, Arsenal, they've got loads of players that could still leave, like first teamers as well, not just squad players. And it's just like you don't know what you're going to have with Fulham. And like for me, they signed Jimenez to replace Mitrovic, but Mitrovic is still here, and those two are not going to work together very well.
No. I see. I think in the whole transfer aspect of things, like obviously, I know people want to get things ready for the start of the season, and then we've got the January transfer window. But I think this summer window that we're having, like we're in at the moment, I think just extend it a month. Just extend it a month. Get rid of it January, because then that's it. Your team's set then for the whole season.
Yeah, the January one's a bit pointless, isn't it? Really, because it's
nobody really does anything. You might get a few loans here and there. You might get a youth player that goes down to play in League Two or something like that. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm probably more with you on that one as well. But yeah, it's just I hate it. Chris saying here, Jimenez finished being affected since his head injury. Totally get it. That would shake you up, and you don't want to start using your head and all that kind of stuff. If the current Jimenez is replacing Mitrovic, then you are doomed, says Chris. Probably. But I just can't see how they work together, Mitrovic and Jimenez, if I'm honest. That's just my opinion.
They can't work together.
No, I don't think they can. Right. One of Colm's favourite clubs, Sheffield United, against Crystal Palace is the next game. 10 games they played in total in the Premier League. 4 wins for Sheffield United, 6 wins for Crystal Palace. There has been no draws. Sheffield United are another club that seems to have done bugger all, if I'm honest. They've signed Austin Trusty, they've signed Traore, they've signed Arucci, they've signed Slimani. They've sold one of their best forwards in Ndiaye to Marseille. They've sold Sanderberg as well. He's gone to Burnley. It's just not official yet. Sheffield United. I don't know what they're... And who's their manager again? I'm thinking Heckingbottom. It is still Heckingbottom, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, who just cannot manage at a top-level club at all. So what are you expecting? And take your Yorkshire hat off for this one. What are you expecting from Sheffield United?
A very hard season. That's not me having a Yorkshire hat on. I expect a very hard season for Sheffield United. Like you said, they just sold one of the best strikers, and they released on a free transfer another striker that does pop up with goals every now and again, and somebody that I really, really do like watching play football, even though he's older. He probably can't hack it at the Premier League, but it was another option for him. And of course, I'm talking about Mr. Billy Sharp. Billy Sharp's gotten through so many games when I've needed him. So many. He's a Blades boy through and through, Billy. I think they've left themselves short.
Yeah. Oh, Cole must be having a nightmare as well here. He's back. Is he back? I don't know if he's back. Is he back?
Oh, me.
Oh, yeah. I thought you went then. Sorry, because I'm in YouTube as well, because I'm keeping an eye on the comments. So I do apologise. Chris is predicting. Chris is going with a 0-0 for Sheffield United Crystal Palace. Big up to Moss. Moss, I will explain. Nothing is happening in StreamYard. We're not getting any comments whatsoever. So I do apologise. I can't put any comments up. Yes, you have missed loss. This is just, we're talking about week 1 preview. So it's just having a bit of a chatter, really, about the games and having a bit of a moan about certain teams. Billy Sharp is still going. He has been released, mate. He's on a freebie. I don't know where he's going yet.
Hopefully to Donny.
Hopefully to Donny. Lots of people don't like getting the predictions in, it seems, or we predicting the order of the table here. No, this is just the week 1 preview. So we're talking about the first fixtures. That is it. There is no... We're not doing like predictions, as in Colm's gone for 2-1. If he gets it wrong, he's got to eat one of those sour lemon things. I don't know, whatever. I don't do that here. We just have a nice chatter. That is it. Sharp is welcome to Carlisle, says Chris.
No, Donny. Donny's his second home.
Crystal Palace 15th, says Chris Welch. Right, let's go on to Crystal Palace. Obviously, Zaha gone. I'm trying to remember who they bought now. Franca. Now that's a good signing. I have to be honest. Matthias Franca was a very good signing. But other than that, that's it. Jefferson Lerma's joined on free. But other than that, they've lost Zaha. Butland's gone. MacArthur's retired. That's all that's happened. It's been a bit of a weird season for some of these clubs when it comes to transfers. Do you expect everything to happen the last couple of weeks or something?
Not really. I don't. I think Palace have set themselves reasonable expectations. You know, they want to be mid to top table. I think that's what they want. And I think with the team they've got, they're very comfortable at doing that. I don't think Zaha will be missed as much as what people think he will. I think you know the players like Eze. If they keep hold of Eze, I love Eze. He's such a good player. You know, he'll come through. He'll step up and take over. So I think Palace will be fine, if I'm going to be honest. I think they'll finish where they normally finish, around mid-table.
Yeah. Fair enough. Right, Crystal. What's Chris saying here? Sheffield United is 17th. Is his bold prediction? Moss is going for a 1-1 draw. Does Turner play versus us right away? He can play against us. I kind of predict he will as well. Yeah, Franke, Eze, if keep Police, Lerma is good, Decore good. Can Edouard get it back to form or take Eddie from us, old Roy? There's a lot to happen, yeah. If Wolves don't do anything here, Welch, I think might go Luton Town, Wolves and Blades, but I do hope Blades somehow avoid the drop back down, says Moss. Moss said that, Colm, just so you're fully aware.
Well, Moss, they won't. They will go back down to the relevancy of Champions League, Championship status.
Champions League?
No, Championship. Championship, not Champions League. They ain't good enough to get in Champions League. And I've got my Yorkshire cap back on now. So they'll get back, they'll get relegated, and then they'll get relegated again next season, then relegated again.
Oh, I love it. Right, let's move on to Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa have obviously had a very interesting window, bringing in some very good players. Newcastle, kind of the same as well with Tonali. Livramento, which is, as I said to you before stream, I didn't realise how much they actually paid for him. I knew that was going through, but I thought it wasn't for that much. That surprised me. Anyway, 53 times they've played, 24 Newcastle wins, 12 Aston Villa wins, 17 draws. So Newcastle, obviously a team with mega money, but they can't spend mega money because of FFP. So it kind of holds them back a little bit, but not too much. Not like a Mike Ashley situation. Tonali. And Harvey Barnes as well. Do apologise, Harvey. But Tonali, I don't get it. I don't get that signing. Italians are well known for not ever leaving Italy. They tend to stay there quite a long time, and that's it. But I don't know if you saw the stuff when he arrived at Newcastle. He just doesn't seem very happy. Do you expect much from him at Newcastle?
Where's he come from?
AC Milan.
AC Milan, yeah. See, I don't think he's a bad player. I've seen him play for AC Milan, and he's capable of doing some amazing things.
Yeah.
Do I think he's good enough to do it in the Premier League, though? Probably not. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. He's coming into this Newcastle team where, let's face it, Newcastle fans are about as delirious as Spurs fans are. You know, they think that they're going to win everything. And they just need to realise that they're not going to do that. Tonali's not going to come in and change that. You know, for me, he doesn't... what's he play? Does he play centre mid, attacking mid? See, I don't even really know.
Midfield. Yeah, defensive midfielder kind of thing.
Defensive midfielder. See, yeah, okay, he might get into the squad. But is he actually any better than what they've currently got? So I don't think he is.
True, because you've got Bruno Guimaraes, haven't you?
Yeah,
Joe Linton now plays
Guimaraes.
there as well. Yeah,
Yeah, Guimaraes and Joe Linton. I'd pick those two every day over him.
yeah. I'm going to go into these comments again because they're building up. Big up to Luke, that's also in the house as well now. I keep saying I've just put another message in. Sorry for unable to show any comments. Still, StreamYard is having a Spursy because that's literally what's happening. It's an absolute nightmare here. It's a Spursy moment. Tonali didn't look that happy when he signed. He did not. Moss is going for a 2-1 to Newcastle. Isaac and Almiron versus Watkins for goals. Newcastle think I had 5th for table prediction. Isaac could be golden boot winner, says one day, says BX. Aston Villa have impressed me the most in the transfer so far. I've got them 5th. If they sign another goal scorer, Aston Villa will finish top 4 for me. Moss liking the Spursy comment quite clearly.
Oh, God. Who's saying
versus
Villa's going to finish top 4?
got them 5th. But if they sign another goal scorer, Chris reckons that Aston Villa could finish top 4
God.
if they got another goal scorer. I think defensively they need to improve, if I'm honest. Mings is a nightmare. Yeah.
I can't remember what game it was, but it was one of the pre-season ones, and it looked like they didn't even have a defense. Honestly.
Yeah. I know it. Yeah, I know you.
And if they play like that throughout the whole season, which I don't think they will, I think they will get significant signings in to help them. But if they do defend like they did in that pre-season all season, they are going to ship goals left, right, and centre.
Yeah, true. Isaac gonna rip? Says Moss, but also this year Elliot Anderson looks very, very good. It's talking about Carabao that's playing now. So Maximan overrated, overhyped player I've seen. He's obviously been sold. I think I have Villas finishing 7th, says Moss. BX like St. Max. St. Matt's gone, Harvey Barnes in, but this young Elliot Anderson looks like something good. Yeah, he's been talked about for quite a few years, to be fair. And it sometimes you can talk about, like, we've gotten Nwaneri. I don't think we'll see him for a couple of years, but when he does come onto the scene, he's going to blow everyone's socks off because you just have to let them mature in the right time frame instead of just rushing them, which some clubs do, and it backfires very quickly. Right, let's move on. Oh, what were you predicting for Sheffield United Crystal Palace? Sorry, Cole.
Palace win 17-0.
Look, this is Colm's predictions. You should see what he's like when I ask for predictions for shows. But yeah.
No, I think Palace will win. I think it'll be a 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. Where is Burton Albion close to, lads? It's Midlands. It's not far from me. It's where St George's Park is. It's not far from there.
It's a bit further away from me.
Yeah. Chris Welch is going for a 3-2 to Newcastle. Nice wee little stadium there. Yeah, it's not bad, to be fair. I have Villa finishing 8th, but winning a trophy. Okay, what are they in? Are they in the Europe Conference League? Are they in the Conference League? Villa?
United, City, Arsenal.
They're in something, aren't they? Because haven't they just been drawn with Hibs or something?
Yeah, I think they are in the Conference League.
Yeah, so yeah, to be fair, they could win that. Right, let's move on to the next game, which is Brentford versus Tottenham. They've played 5 times, 2 wins for the Tottenham, 2 draws, and 1 win for Brentford. Tottenham have done fairly decent business, I'd say. Obviously, there could be a massive exit still to come, but that's not to talk about right now. But they have signed Kulusevski on a permanent. Vicario, which I know Colin will talk about shortly. Madison, Sonoman, Van der Ven, and this 19-year-old Veliz from Argentina. So it's not bad business. They've spent just over, quickly, about 130 million. But Vicario, obviously, he is the Lloris replacement. What have you made of him? What you've seen?
See, it's a player that I've kept a little eye on, to be honest with you. I do quite like him. I think he's going to have to. He's definitely going to take time to adapt. I watched the game. I can't remember who they played against. It was one of the first ones that they played, where he played, and he reminded me a lot of watching him in his first appearance of what David De Gea was like. You know, he's not very strong in the air. You know, he gets bullied a little bit. He flaps quite a lot. But I mean, I'm not going to downgrade him for anything like that, because obviously David De Gea did exactly the same thing when he first came into Manchester United. He flapped. He was bullied a lot. So I think once he bulks up a bit, and gets used to the style of what it's like in the Premier League, I think he'll be a very good goalkeeper. I know I went on to a Spurs fan channel because they know that obviously I've done goalkeeper training and all that, and they were asking me about him, and I made the very bold claim, and I got ridiculed for it, but I still stand by it right now. I reckon Vicario in a couple of years' time, maybe 2-3 years' time, if he gets enough time under his belt and improves his game, which I think under Ange Postecoglou he will do, because Ange is a fantastic manager. He really is. He's got a very good shout at becoming the Italian number one.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's not a crazy shout. It's a good shout. Brentford 2-2 says Chris Welch. Moss is doing 1-1. Chris has got Brentford 13th, Spurs 7th. Moss has got Spurs 9th, Brentford 11th. Luke's saying Spurs under Ange might be similar to how they were under Martin Jewell. Good shout, to be fair. Martin Jewell was a very different coach as well. Ange is very good. I like the style that he played at Celtic, and I can't stand Celtic. So for me to say
that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I try and watch as much football as possible, even if it's not like, Donny or United or somebody. I've watched Spurs play. And going forward, I know it's not been against like magnificent teams, but Barcelona, the first 45 minutes against Barcelona, Spurs played them off the park.
Yeah.
Spurs are a team to watch out for, but it all just depends whether Spurs are going to have that Spursy moment.
Yeah, 100%. Right, let's go talk about Brentford. We're going to leave the goalkeeper to last, because I know that you watched the goalkeeper when I was doing a watch log recently. Obviously, Sade has signed permanently. Ivan Toney is obviously out until January, February time next year. Nathan Collins has come in, decent centre back in my opinion, and then they've brought a new goalkeeper, which I remember you saying, "Who the heck is he?" Because he's rubbish. Mark Flecken, who they've bought from Freiburg. You weren't impressed, were you, mate?
No, not at all. Brentford, if anybody from Brentford is listening or watching or whatever, if you watch this back, please take this advice. Buy another goalkeeper, because you have been fooled. The guy that you have signed has never been a goalkeeper in his life. He's terrible. Some of those goals that he conceded, how did you concede them? They're straight at you.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
It literally makes me wince. When I see goalkeeping that bad, it makes me wince, because it's like, how have you made it professional? How have you become a professional goalkeeper? You can't even do the basic fundamentals of goalkeeping.
Yeah. Right. Boss is saying about Flecken and Collins, not bad deals. Moss slightly disagrees on the Flecken. I have to be honest, he didn't look very good when I watched him. Spurs need to improve defensively, says Chris under Colm. How's Eric Dyer still a footballer? His last name describes him as a footballer. Celtic are my Scottish team, Bobby. The Irish connection, so we're rivals in Scotland. I do cheer for your Dortmund in Germany, though. Thank you very much. But yeah, Rangers for me is always because of Annie McCoist and Gascoigne, if I'm honest. There's literally no connection, like any Irish or anything like that. It's just, I'm related to a very important Scottish person, so I've had to choose a Scottish team, and I just chose Rangers. So yeah, but Dortmund are definitely my German team. Well, I've actually, because the only country in Europe I don't actually really support was Portugal, but I've actually chosen a team for this season. So I've chosen a team to follow. Mainly, and everyone will not be surprised by this, it's because I like their away shirt. So I've brought their away shirt, and that is the team I've chosen. So when you see the shirt, you'll know who it is, but I'm not saying anything until I wear the shirt.
This is despicable. This is despicable, Bobby. You picked Rangers in the Scottish League. Rangers.
Yes.
Come on. Rangers.
Andy McCoist. I love him.
I don't give a monkey's uncle. Pick an actual football team.
Well, me and my partner, we have Edinburgh City as the other one because M went to uni there and we spent a lot of time there. So Edinburgh City is our second club in Scotland, but Rangers is my main one.
My Scottish team represents both of my English sides. Very, very disappointing.
Right. Brentford Spurs, what do you expect the score to be?
It all depends. I don't know. It's an hard one because we don't know. I know we're not going into it. We don't know what's going to happen with a certain somebody. So it's hard to really pinpoint because we don't know whether that's going to have a massive effect or whether it's not going to bother them at all. I think Spurs probably have the quality to get the win, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just seeing Chris's comment here. I know they're not coming in our StreamYard, so unfortunately Cole's not getting to see it, but I do find that really funny. Obviously, Moss supports Hibs. We all know this. Chris says Bobby supports Bridesmaids, Arsenal, Rangers, and Dortmund. I do support Ajax. Ajax have won a few trophies. Barcelona is my Spanish team. I have LAFC in America, Atalanta in America. I'm trying to think of the other clubs I support, but there's loads. Plymouth Argyle is one of the teams I support in the lower leagues. Notts County, Boreham Wood. I've got so many clubs that I have a soft spot for, and it's mainly to do with family and stuff like that. So yeah,
you've got all the bridesmaids. I've got all the honourable mentions.
Exactly. Right, let's move on to what is probably the biggest game of the weekend, to be honest. No offence to United, but this probably is the biggest game. Chelsea versus Liverpool. We will be doing the watch along on Sunday. We'll be doing it to Moss's channel as well, and Cop Talk as well. I like to help them out when I can. Chelsea Liverpool. Now, Chelsea, we're not going to talk about what could be happening regarding issues. Now, Chelsea have had a very busy summer. I think when I last checked, they have spent £180 million. They've sold £213 million. The list is ridiculous. It's like 20 people out, 10 people in. What are you expecting from Chelsea this summer under the new manager?
God, that's a question.
Mad, I know.
The only thing that I can 100% say that I'm expecting from Chelsea is to spend another 150 million in January, because something hasn't gone right. Let's face it, Todd Bowley hasn't got a clue what he's doing when he's running a football club. He spent 250 million last January, or something stupid like that. Spent ridiculous amounts of money just to stay in the Premier League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't expect anything from Chelsea. I don't think they've improved. I think they're still going to have the same issues of what they had last year. Bloated squad, unhappy players. I know they've got Nkunku now as well, aren't they? I mean, he's a good
injured
player. Is he out injured?
Yeah, he's out for a couple of months.
Well, there you go then. You know,
it's just mad, isn't it? You just can't make it up.
No, you can't at all. I don't see it being a good season for Chelsea.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm going to get into some comments before we talk about Liverpool. Big up to Bargav. This stream is funny. This stream is just bonkers, mate. We can't see any comments in our studio, so I'm having to watch it on YouTube, which is behind because the YouTube is always behind the StreamYard for some reason. Bargav has gone for 3-2 to Chelsea. Chris Welch has gone for Chelsea 1, Liverpool 2. Big up to William Kalala. He's gone for a Chelsea win. Chris Welch is predicting 8th for Chelsea. Chelsea have done the right thing with the sales, but not done incomings. Their only good signing is Nkunku, who's already injured. Moss is going for Moss. You can't call them that anymore due to the fact they are not owned by that club. So you have to think of something American when you call them that team. So what could we call Chelsea now? They're American owned. Don't know. You're gonna have to think of someone new now because you can't call them that anymore because it's not
Super Soccer Team Chelsea.
Yeah, something like that. You're going to have to change the Chelsea one. Bargav saying Jackson is a good signing. Also, yeah, Nicholas Jackson is probably the only good signing for me. I'm not convinced on Nkunku, if I'm honest. I think he's Bundesliga level. That's about it.
Do you know what I think is going to happen with Nkunku?
Yeah.
The exact same thing that happened with Timo Werner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Timo Werner in the Bundesliga, nobody could touch him. He was amazing. Came to the Premier League, couldn't cut it. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen with Nkunku.
Yeah. I think I agree, to be fair. I think Nicholas Jackson is the only one that I think is actually going to be good. Bargav's asking a really good question. Is Sterling going to rebound? He could do. Look, Poch is a very good coach. I'll give him that. But is he going to be able to cope with this absolute madness at Chelsea?
No, he won't. I'll say it now. I think Poch will be gone by December.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do. There's no way. It's not even down to the fact he's a bad manager or anything. Poch is a very good manager. It's just down to the fact of how much of a mess that club is.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Problem with Chelsea is their defense was good last year. Their attack is more energetic. That team is hidden giants. If everything connects well, yes, absolutely. They've bought Disasi from Monaco, which is my French team. So yeah, I don't just support bridesmaids. I just support like long distant relatives as well because Monaco are nowhere near winning the title in France. But yeah, it's a weird one if I'm honest with Chelsea. Now, going from madness in the window to a club that, for me, had to have a big window and have literally signed 2 players, which is a bit weird, if I'm honest. And they've let so many players go, it's ridiculous. Bobby has more teams. Gabriel Gabon gets recognition. Do you know what it is, Chris? It's because I love football so much, and everyone knows what I do behind the scenes.
Don't listen to him, Chris. Don't listen to him, Chris. He's lying. It's for when one team lets him down, he can always go, well, yeah, but so-and-so's won something. That's exactly what it's for.
Arsenal will always be my first love, but I do I love a club in pretty much every league there is in the world. So, yeah. I even
Germany. He even loves Germany.
Dortmund. Well, I'm part German, so it's a bit difficult
you wear a German shirt, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm wearing the
German Germany. He's wearing... Secretly, Bobby's wearing that German shirt to try and progress the Harry Kane deal so he can laugh at Spurs even more. That's what he's doing.
Right, let's talk about Liverpool. Let's talk about me. Right, Alexis McAllister and Szoboszlai are the 2 signings Liverpool have made. Do you think that's enough?
Right, hold on. Let me take my Manchester United cap off.
Yeah, take that off.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah,
I know they've got rid of Henderson. Thiago's still there, isn't he? I don't think he's gone anywhere.
Not yet. No.
See, the issue with I know they've improved slightly, but the issue I've still got is it's still an aging squad.
Yeah.
And they need to bring in some younger players, some more talented players, because let's face it, Thiago's past his best.
Yeah.
He has been for a little while now. Obviously, Henderson was always going to be Mr. Liverpool, a bit like what Steven Gerrard was. But he had to go. He was past his best. James Milner, the ever youthful drinking from the fountain of youth, he's gone. So, but yeah, I don't mind having the experience, but they definitely sort something out. And I'm not too convinced about that back line either. I mean, Van Dijk, yeah, okay. He's one of the best defenders in the Premier League. But last season, he looked shaky. And I don't know whether he's going to look any better this season because nothing in front of him's improved.
No. they've sold like Naby Keita's left, Milner's left, Oxlade-Chamberlain's left, Henderson's left, Fabinho's left. So that's five midfielders. Let's say five midfielders, and they've brought in two. And Chris, who is the Liverpool fan, we need a centre back, DM, arguably two midfielders still in his opinion. And he thinks FSG out is so unbearably seriously. They have backed Klopp. It's nonsense saying they haven't backed him.
But I agree with Chris. Like,
Yeah.
I've been saying it for. I said it about Man United for ages.
Yeah.
You need a central defensive midfielder. You need one because it takes a little bit of pressure off the defense. Who have Liverpool got now? Really?
Yeah. They've got nobody. I would just big up because Colm will like this. Leeds are losing 1-0 to Shrewsbury.
Get in, Shrewsbury.
Just thought I'd let you know. But yeah, it's Liverpool for me have weakened, not strengthened, and they needed to strengthen because last season was pretty poor, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
I know we
got the 7-0 cup.
Yeah, that's it though. Let's be honest. And they did all right at the end of the season. But McAllister, yeah, good signing. Szoboszlai, good signing. But that's not enough.
No, it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near. They need, like I said, they need to bring in a DM, a competent DM. Like, in all fairness, I think they need to bring in somebody. It's not going to happen, but somebody like a Gozeka or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of experience, but is still capable.
Yeah. Well, they're meant to be getting very close to Lavia. I believe that's nearly a done deal for Lavia. So, do you think that's enough signing Lavia?
No, it's not. Yes, okay, it's going to be a far better squad than what Lavia were in, and Lavia is a fantastic player. He was quality last season, but I still think they need work. They still need more players.
Yeah. For me, they do. And Chris is saying here, Chris Welch is saying Caicedo over Lavia. Chris saying you can't be relying on 19-year-old Lavia. Pretty much what Arsenal fans were saying as well regarding Lavia. You can't rely on the 19-year-old. I do think he's very good. I do think he's very talented. But it's a very big risk for a club like Liverpool or Arsenal to just risk a 19-year-old signing who's done one season in the Premier League. That's it.
Leicester are 1-0 up as well.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I'm trying my best to keep an eye on stuff, but yeah, this stream has just gone from madness to madness. Right, let's get on to the final game. My local club against your club. Man United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. And obviously we're going to have to talk about Lopetegui has obviously left Wolves. Gary O'Neill has now gone in today as the new coach. So do you think that is going to be a positive for you guys or a negative?
Negative. Of course it's negative. They're going to get that manager bounce.
Yeah.
Wolves, for some reason, always seem to turn up against Manchester United without fail.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. When they decide to play Man United, they all turn into prime Barcelona of like, early 2000s or Brazil of like 90s or something. It's ridiculous. But I'm going to watch it. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it is going to be an interesting one. You've played 24 times, 15 wins for United, 5 for the Wolves, 4 for the draw. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Wolves' window because it's stupid. Their only signing has been a 28-year-old goalkeeper, Tom King, from Northampton Town. Now, you can kind of understand why Lopetegui left, if that's the only activity they did. And they've brought in nearly £100 million in sales, and they brought in a freebie. You can kind of see where he got a little bit angry, can't you, really?
Yeah, you can.
Because Wolves are the only club that's nearly filled out an A4 page in my writing pad with the amount of players that have left. It's stupid. Right, but that's Wolves. I don't want to talk too much about them because they're my local club and I want to be fair. United. I'm not going to tell you because I've spoken up about your outgoings because I still think you've done stupid business. It's a bit like Arsenal have underselling players. But your players coming in, Mason Mount, happy? Not happy.
Undecided.
Undecided. You're a bit like Havertz with all the Arsenal fans. Undecided on the Havertz.
I've seen him at Chelsea, and I've seen the spells that he can do at Chelsea. You know, he's a good player. I won't say he's not, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen him enough in the United shirt to say whether it's a good signing or not.
Yeah. Fair enough. What about Onana? What's his name? Onana. What about him?
If he stays on his bloody line, then I'll be happy. I'll be happy if he stays on his line. That's something we need. Obviously, we're going to have a roller coaster season, United. That's something we're going to have to get used to because he hates staying on his line. He likes playing as a centre back at times.
Yes.
But he's a good goalkeeper. You know, you can't say that he's not. You know, he got to Champions League final last season and played very, very well. Okay, they lost, but he played very, very well. So I think it's a good signing. I just want him to not be a centre back.
And then finally, the player you've just signed, who's obviously now injured, Højlund. What I want your opinion on him because I don't understand the price tag. That's the only bit I don't understand is the price tag. Is how much.
Yeah,
I know he's deep. I know there's a lot of talent in there, but he didn't exactly shine in the Serie A. If in my opinion, that's just my opinion. But it's a lot of money, and it could be a risk, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's 100% a risk. But you know, every transfer is a risk. I think United overpaid. I think we did. I think what is 70 million euros we paid for him.
Yeah, the official what you've paid is 64.3 million pounds.
Yeah, see, I think he's probably worth more around the 45 to 50 million.
Yeah,
you know that's just basically on his age. He's a young player. I don't think he's gonna light up anything this season. I think he's more of a future player purchase than an instant impact one. But I'm excited to see what he does at United because he gives us something that we haven't had. Obviously, we've got Martial, who's always injured.
Yeah.
Last year, we had the lamppost up top, which, let's face it, I think, you know, a newborn baby's probably got about as much talent as what he has. So it does give us that little bit of something different, but we still need something more than what he offers.
Yeah. So what more do you expect United to do this window?
Well, I expect us to get at least another centre back in, another midfielder. I think we need another midfielder because we need somebody to help with the Casemiro role. Because obviously Casemiro can't play every game, age-wise, and not only that, he likes to accumulate red cards apparently as well. So we need somebody to step in when he's not available. And we need another striker. We can't play with a season with Martial and Rasmus because it's impossible. Martial's fit for 5% of the season, and then we're putting all the pressure on this new kid. And let's face it, he's a kid. That's what he is. He's a kid. We can't put that much pressure, so we need to bring in somebody a bit more experienced. You know, like a Harry Kane. I know it's not going to happen, but I was quite excited when I saw we got linked to Edison Cavani again. You know, that would have been nice, an experienced player.
He's joined. Who's he joined? I can't remember now. Has he gone back to South America?
Yeah, he's gone to South America.
Yeah.
But we need somebody like that can, you know, take Rasmus under his wing and also, you know, get minutes in his boots and put a couple of shots in back at net. That's what we need. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting season for United.
Right, let's get into the comments before we wrap this up because this has just been a nightmare stream. We appreciate everyone in the comments, but honestly, StreamYard-wise, absolute nightmare. You know how it always gets a rating at the end? It's going to get a bad rating today. Normally gets a good rating for me, but it's going to get a bad one today. Man United 4, Wolves 0, says Chris. What is going on at Wolverhampton? Worry for them? Yeah, look, Lopetegui obviously left because there was no investment being made at Wolves. Gary O'Neill has come in. Will he get any money? I don't know. They've sold £100 million worth of players, so they've got money. Again, they would have had prize money from last season as well. So let's wait and see what happens there. Moss saying Man United 2-0. Rash and Bruno with the goals against Wolves. Wolves are already relegated, according to Chris. Far too late to do business now. All panic signings from here. I don't blame Lopetegui for leaving. Why did you have to do that Onana, what's his name nonsense? Look, I wanted Amadou Onana at Arsenal, the Everton midfielder, and it was mainly for that song. I just wanted to sing the song. So now United have got one. I'm going to sing it. Højlund is a long-term signing, but price is ridiculous for potential. 100%. Luke saying Cole must be delighted with 30 million for Maguire. Luke, if you just rewind to the beginning, you'll enjoy my little comparison with a fridge. I had a little bit of a rant. I have to be honest. I had to have a rant. 30 million for Maguire is ridiculous. Tractor Boys up on Buster Rovers, says Mars. I'm not going to talk about the Bargev question because I don't want to talk about his name. He plays for United. You know who I'm on about, Cole.
Yeah.
I've no wish to talk about him until a decision has been made.
No.
So I don't want to mention his name. So is Maguire McTom going hammers? I don't think McTominay is, but Maguire probably is. But I don't think McTom is because West Ham are trying to. No, I think they've just closed a deal for Ward-Prowse. So that's Ward-Prowse, Alvarez in. That'd be Maguire.
So I don't think United can let McTominay go at the minute because
you've got Fred going as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got Fred going.
You can't lose both. We're just getting out.
Well, I wish we could.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I wish we could.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a big risk, isn't it? Unless obviously United know of another player that they can get. I still think United needs centre back, says Chris. Amrabat in midfield and another striker. And Luke is talking about Taremi, who is being currently linked with Inter Milan. So it's going to be Taremi and maybe Balogun at Inter next season. But Taremi, I like the Iranian. 20 million quid. Bargain for me. In the market nowadays, 20 million is nothing for a striker. Would you take the risk on Taremi? He's 30 years old. Iranian. FC Porto.
Yeah, I think I would. He's been around the game for a while. He offers us something different. He's got that experience, and that's what United need. We don't necessarily need, somebody that's going to bang goals in left, right, and centre because we've got players all over the pitch that can do that for us. Rashford scores a load of goals. Bruno pops in with some. Anthony gets some. So our main goal threat doesn't have to be the central striker, but we need somebody that's going to help nurture Rasmus Højlund. That's what we need.
Yeah, true. But look, there's still a big window. I will be doing the transfer show every week, keeping you up to date for the official deals. None of this here we go rubbish. So actual players that actually have signed. And then obviously we'll see what happens. But I think there's still a lot to happen, mainly for the smaller clubs as well now. I think that's their time to shine for the market. But yeah, Colm, thank you very much for coming on to what has been a crazy stream. Where can people find you, my friend?
Well, obviously you can find me right here on the Full Time Sports Network channel, or you can go to my Twitter handle, which is the same as my name there, FTSN-Colm. If you're a fantasy Premier League fan and you want to get involved, we have got a league set up for the FTSN. I'll post the code so you can join on my Twitter page. We will be doing a show as well, and we have a little special prize for the winner at the end of the season.
Doncaster Rovers shirt. That's what it is.
Nobody get a Rovers shirt apart from me. What you on about?
But you'll find me. I'm pretty much here for the next 2 weeks. By the way, I'm just thinking in my head how many streams I've got to do. One every day for the next 2 weeks. That's for certain. So
if
you will find me
lonely, if you ever get lonely, just come into the StreamYard's back rooms and Bobby will be there.
I do leave StreamYard, I promise. I do leave StreamYard.
He doesn't. He's lying to you.
Guys, I need to go because this stream has been a nightmare. I do apologise about the comments. I've tried my best to go through them all, but we haven't been able to put any of them up at all. But hopefully next time we do a stream, it works. But I'm definitely going to give it a bad review today. Guys, take care. And the games this weekend is Arsenal Forest, 12:30 kickoff, and Chelsea versus Liverpool on Sunday for 4:30. They will be live watch-alongs on this channel. So, guys, take care. See you all very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.